E.R.T.L Thomas. Remarkably the best die-cast Thomas toy brand there is, and who wouldn't have any E.R.T.Ls? I mean, I've got a handful myself. I even got myself these two bad boys. But there's one thing we all know about E.R.T.L. It got partially discontinued, first in 2001, and in the UK and Ireland in 2004, but we don't officially know why it got discontinued in 2001. We all know that it just got discontinued in 2001 with no said reason. We do know why it got discontinued in 2004, and it was because of E.R.T.L's production of Thomas & Friends toys was discontinued in the US in 2002 and in the UK market in 2005. This was due to RC2 Corporation acquiring E.R.T.L and subsequently discontinuing the ranges to avoid conflict with the existing Thomas license held by Learning Curve brands. And that was the case back in 2005, but what about 2001? One of the issues with Thomas Toy brand discontinuations is that they never fully say or explain why they got discontinued. All they say is they got discontinued in this year and nothing else. But I've got a theory as to why the range may have gotten discontinued in 2001. Okay, so when you think about 2001, you need to think about a specific day back in that year, September 11th, 2001. And I know what some of you young users might be thinking. That just sounds like a random day of the year. What does that have to do with any importance? Well, that's how it was at first. It all started in New York City one morning. So on the morning of September 11th, people in New York were going about their morning just like any other day. People were getting breakfasts, buying their coffees on their ways to work, walking their dogs. It was just going to be an average everyday day. But at 8:46 a.m, everything would change for life.
I understand that there has been a plane crash on the southern tip of Manhattan. You're looking at the World Trade Center. We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft.
Fuselage perhaps stayed in those upper buildings. Now, if you look at the second building, there are two, that both Twin Towers now are on fire. Now, this was not the case, am I correct? A couple of moments ago. This is the second Twin Tower now on fire, and we're going to check on the second flight if perhaps that had happened.
Let's go back to Dave Statter with more from the site of the Pentagon. Dave.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
All right, I'm here with Michael Kelly, who was a witness to this attack at the Pentagon. I'm going to let him describe what he saw here, I guess about 20 minutes ago with me, Michael Kelly. First of all, let me just first describe the scene. This is the west side of the Pentagon, the heliport side off of Washington Boulevard. Were you driving or what?
Yes, I was in the traffic on the 14th Street Bridge, right at the Pentagon, tied up going into town, and I heard this plane come over my...
2 and 2 1. This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way!
Dana Manana's name still on the door, a forlorn director's chair, an escalator to nowhere, and above, the buildings still further from the centre, shafted and broken, gashed by flying debris.
September 11th, 2001 was known to be the biggest terrorist attack in United States history. It is what we call 9/11, due to it being dated that day. That morning, 19 terrorists from Al-Qaeda stole 4 commercial airliners and struck them into tourist attractions in New York City and Washington, D.C. The event killed 2,977 people. Planes such as American Airlines Flight 11, United Airlines Flight 175, and American Airlines Flight 77 hit their targets, but not United Airlines 93, which had a counterattack from the passengers and crashed into a field near Shanksville in Pennsylvania. The one solid hero of that flight was the man named Todd Beamer, who he and the other passengers fought against the terrorists and was known for the heroic quote, "Let's roll." But why did 9/11 happen for? It was because Osama bin Laden, former militant leader of Al-Qaeda, and he had a prejudiced bias and hate for America. He thought America was a threat to Muslims, and in 1996 he declared a terrorist war to America, and so he decided to attack the USA by getting 19 of his terrorists to steal 4 airliners and crash them into some of America's most well-known attraction sites, most iconically the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. After 2001, the US decided to spread a manhunt for bin Laden. It took them 10 years to track him down and kill him in Abbottabad, Pakistan on May 1st, 2011, and he died the very next day. And now, after clicking on the video, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with the E.R.T.L range of Thomas? Well, you see, believe it or not, 9/11 had some causes with many industries in the United States, such as the media and entertainment industry. Movies that had similarities to 9/11, such as plane or building scenes, had to be altered and replaced. But what about toy companies? Did they have a 9/11 fiction? Well, it's not officially known as to what toy companies that may have been affected. However, I think that this may have had an unknown or unofficial reason as to the partial discontinuation of the E.R.T.L Thomas range back in 2001. Let me explain. So you see, after doing some research on 9/11, I think there is a possibility that E.R.T.L may not have felt right about producing more Thomas toy releases due to the terrorist attack. There is a good chance that it was decided that due to all the affections to the industries regarding 9/11 at the time, E.R.T.L just didn't feel appropriate producing more Thomas releases due to their own affections, and decided to trust Learning Curve Incorporated to continue the diecast range in their own line as the Take-Along range. So I guess post 9/11 they must have had a meeting about the Thomas toy diecast range and may have went something like this. Alright, listen up staff. Today we're going to discuss a matter regarding our Thomas toy line. Oh yeah, what is it? Remember 2 months ago on the 11th of September, the country got attacked by terrorists? Oh yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, don't get me started on the World Trade Center. Well, regarding which, that is what we're going to discuss today. What are we going to discuss about? Today we're going to discuss the discontinuing of the Thomas range. What? But our Thomas range is so loved and popular. Why do you want to discontinue it? It's because of the terrorist attacks back on September 11th. But why would you want to discontinue the range just because of a terrorist attack for? Well, you see, other industries and companies have been affected due to it. I've heard that some movies have been postponed and some movies are getting cancelled or discontinued. And I think there are also some other toy companies that are shutting their ranges down due to the attacks as well. I understand, but we're the only ones who do the diecast Thomas toys. Is there another company you know that will do the diecast range? Well, you know the company who does the wooden railway range, right? You mean Learning Curve, right? They aren't affected by the terrorist attack, right? Correct. Last week, I've made contact with Learning Curve and I've told them what I'm telling you, and they said that they are going to continue the diecast range in their own line. And what is their line called? It is called the Take-Along line. Take-Along? Yes, and they're going to have a complete redesign to ours, and they're also going to be redesigned for more safety for the toddlers to play with. Do you have a photo of what they look like? Yes, they sent me a photo of this prototype yesterday in the mail. As you can see, it's taller, shorter, has sturdier plastic, and uses magnets as their coupling system. That does look safe. I thought they'd use magnets, even the wheels look similar. They are going to be released early next year in 2002. I understand that you need to discontinue the range because of this, but is there a way the range can continue just a few years longer? Well, I've decided for at least another 4 years or so, the E.R.T.L range can be still released in the UK and Ireland. Only a select number of the characters that are going to be re-released over there will be released in the new range here. We are also going to redesign our coupling range too in a way where they're more durable too. That sounds like a good plan then. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the meeting and I hope you have a good rest of the day. And there you have it. Those are my reasons why I think E.R.T.L got partially discontinued. If you agree with me, post your reasons why you agree with me. If you don't think it had anything to do with 9/11, but had a general reason for discontinuing, and think I'm being totally ridiculous, then I am completely sorry. If you are a former E.R.T.L employee who used to work with the range back then, please explain for the actual reason for the discontinue. Anyway, with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.